A dangerous nor'easter called Winter Storm Gianna is about to explode into a bomb cyclone along the east coast this weekend. And it's coming just days after a deadly winter storm killed at least 65 people across 16 states. In this video, I'm breaking down exactly what's happening, the record-breaking snow expected, and what you need to know right now. This is happening now. Let's dive into the data. Okay, so here's the situation as of Friday morning, January 30th, 2026. Winter Storm Gianna is rapidly developing along the southeast coast, and meteorologists are saying this could bring the heaviest snow in decades to North Carolina. We're talking potential record-breaking snowfall. Right now, around 190 million people are under weather alerts, either for frigid temperatures or snow. That's more than half the entire U.S. population. Winter storm warnings are in effect for all of North Carolina, much of South Carolina, Virginia, Tennessee, and Georgia. States of emergency have been declared in North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia. And here's the kicker. This is happening while the South is still recovering from last weekend's historic storm. Over 115,000 customers are still without power in Mississippi alone. So what is bombogenesis? You've probably been seeing this term everywhere. It's actually a technical meteorological term. Bombogenesis, or a bomb cyclone, happens when a storm's central pressure drops at least 24 millibars in 24 hours. That's rapid intensification. Why does this matter? Because when pressure drops that quickly, it means the storm is strengthening fast, pulling in more moisture, creating stronger winds, and producing heavier precipitation. Basically, it goes from a regular storm to a powerhouse in less than a day. Get this. Meteorologists are predicting this storm could drop from 1,008 millibars to 970 millibars in just one day. That's a 38 millibar drop, way above the 24 millibar threshold for a bomb cyclone. This thing is going to be explosive, and meteorologists are saying the pressure could drop about 35 millibars within 24 hours as it moves up the coast on Saturday. Now let's talk about the snow. And folks, these numbers are wild. Here are the latest forecasts, and some of these could be record-breaking. North Carolina is the hardest hit area. Charlotte is expecting 3 to 5 inches. This would be the biggest snowfall since 2022. But wait, there's more. Raleigh could see 5 to 8 inches. They only need 2.7 inches to beat their biggest snowstorm since December 2018. So they're going to shatter that record. Eastern North Carolina and the Outer Banks, we're talking potentially up to 12 inches or more. According to AccuWeather, this could be North Carolina's heaviest snow in decades. The last time Raleigh saw over 20 inches was way back in January 2000. Wilmington, North Carolina could see at least 3 inches. The first time in 8 years they've gotten that much from a single storm. A 5-inch total would be the first in over 2 decades. The National Weather Service predict Winter Storm Gianna will add January 2026 to that list of historic snow events. That's how significant this is. In Virginia, Norfolk and Virginia Beach are looking at more than 6 inches. Richmond could also see significant accumulation in the 5 to 10 inch range. In South Carolina, Columbia is forecast to get 5 to 10 inches. That would be the heaviest snow since February 2010 when they got 8.6 inches. Myrtle Beach could see 3 to 5 inches, which would be one of the biggest snowfall events ever recorded there. Parts of northern and eastern Georgia could see accumulating snow, with even Atlanta potentially getting an inch or less. But that's still a big deal for a city that rarely sees winter weather. But here's where it gets really dangerous. The Outer Banks of North Carolina and southeastern Virginia, places like Norfolk, could experience blizzard conditions, with winds gusting up to 70 miles per hour, maybe even 75 miles per hour. That's hurricane-force winds. Brunswick County has a gale warning in effect from 9 a.m. Saturday to 7 p.m. Sunday, with strong gusty winds of 25 to 35 miles per hour. That'll create blowing snow and whiteout conditions. For reference, a blizzard means visibility of a quarter mile or less, with winds of 35 miles per hour or greater, for at least 3 consecutive hours. We're talking about winds double that speed in some areas. Inland areas from Georgia through the Carolinas are expecting wind gusts of 25 to 35 miles per hour, possibly higher. That's enough to snap tree branches and down power lines, especially with heavy wet snow weighing everything down. Brunswick County officials are warning residents that scattered power outages are possible. Now you might be wondering, what created this monster? It's all about the ingredients coming together at the right time. First, we had a massive blast of Arctic air that pushed down from Canada earlier this week. That set the stage. Then a storm system picked up moisture from the Gulf of Mexico and the Atlantic. That's your fuel. The jet stream, that river of fast-moving air high in the atmosphere, was positioned perfectly to help this low-pressure system rapidly intensify as it moved up the coast. When all these factors align, you get explosive development, hence the bomb cyclone. So here's the timeline of exactly when this is going to hit. Friday night, late January 30th. Snow will begin developing Friday evening across the Tennessee Valley and southern Appalachians, places like Nashville and Gatlinburg. This is just the appetizer. Saturday morning, January 31st. By Saturday morning, a coastal low will be rapidly developing, and snow will stretch across Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and northern Georgia. This is when things get serious. Saturday afternoon through evening is when the bulk of the snow falls. The coastal low will be rapidly strengthening. This is when bombogenesis happens. Snow intensity will ramp up big time, especially in interior cities like Richmond, Raleigh, Charlotte, and Columbia. By Saturday night, we're looking at blizzard conditions along the Outer Banks and southeastern Virginia coast, with those 70+ mile-per-hour wind gusts I mentioned. Sunday, February 1st. The storm reaches peak intensity offshore on Sunday. Snow should end by midday from Virginia and the Carolinas. There's still uncertainty about New England, especially Cape Cod and eastern Massachusetts, which could see impacts if the storm tracks closer to shore. Cape Cod and the islands might see 2 to 5 inches, with isolated 6-inch amounts possible for Nantucket. Here's an extra problem. There's a full moon this Sunday. That means astronomical tides are already higher than normal. Combined with the storm surge from this bomb cyclone, we're looking at water levels 2 to 4 feet higher than normal. Coastal flooding is expected around high tide from North Carolina all the way up to Massachusetts. The National Weather Service has issued coastal flood watches for parts of eastern Massachusetts, including Cape Cod, Martha's Vineyard, and Nantucket. Locations like Norfolk, Virginia, the Outer Banks, the Wildwoods of New Jersey, and Scituate, Massachusetts could see significant flooding. Now here's what makes this situation even more dangerous. Kentucky alone reported 10 deaths. Mississippi reported 10 deaths. South Carolina has confirmed 2 deaths, and the death toll keeps rising. That storm left more than 115,000 customers without power, and many still don't have electricity as I'm recording this. Mississippi has been absolutely paralyzed by power outages and life-threatening ice. In Arkansas, a rodeo arena in Saline County completely collapsed under the weight of snow and ice. In Benton, Arkansas, a pool hall collapsed, causing 3 offices to partially collapse. This is why governors in North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia have declared states of emergency before the storm even hits. If you're in the affected area, here's what you need to know. Stay off the roads. This cannot be stressed enough. With blizzard conditions, whiteout conditions, and rapid snow accumulation, travel is going to be extremely dangerous Saturday into Sunday. Multiple airlines have already issued travel alerts for nearly 50 airports. Given what happened last weekend, expect power outages. Have flashlights, batteries, and a way to charge your phone ready. Keep your devices charged now. Have enough supplies for several days. If you're near the coast, especially in the Outer Banks, Norfolk, or Cape Cod, stay alert for evacuation orders. With that full moon and storm surge, coastal flooding can happen quickly and be severe. Check on your neighbors, especially elderly neighbors or those who might need extra help. Remember, 65 people died in last weekend's storm. If you have travel plans this weekend anywhere from Georgia to Massachusetts, seriously consider canceling or postponing. This is not a storm to mess with. And here's the kicker. After this storm passes, the cold air isn't going anywhere. In fact, Arctic air will surge even further south. Florida is about to experience some of the coldest weather in years. Temperatures are expected to drop below freezing as far south as West Palm Beach by Sunday morning. We're talking frosts and freezes deep into Florida. And meteorologists are watching the polar vortex closely as we head into February. There are signs it may weaken and wobble, which would allow dangerously cold air to dive south into the U.S. for weeks. So if you're cold now, experts say you're going to be cold for weeks to come. This winter has come back with a vengeance after years of mild winters. More than 190 million Americans are under some kind of weather alert right now. This is a big deal. Please take this seriously. Stay off the road Saturday and Sunday if you're in the affected areas. Check on your neighbors. Make sure you're prepared for power outages. For the absolute latest information specific to your area, check your local National Weather Service office at weather.gov. Stay safe out there, everyone. This is not a storm to take lightly.